Relentless solution focus. How will that help you get the most out of your life? Well, let me tell you, because as humans, our natural instinct is to have problem-centered thought in which we're thinking about the issues rather than just enjoying all the good things that happen in life. And one of the paradoxes of this is that the majority of things that people worry about don't actually happen. So in this great book, PCT, the problem-centered thought, can be changed. Keep watching to find out. Why is it important what we focus on? Well, there's a thing called expectancy theory, and that dictates what we focus on actually expands. You'll have heard that old saying, neurons that fire together wire together, and the brain does have some neuroplasticity. So if we can control our dominant thoughts, making them focus on solutions as opposed to problems, it potentially, your brain will compound there and keep you thinking about solutions. And if you almost think of it as a chalkboard, we want to be on the solution side of the chalkboard, not the problem side. Now, relentless solution focus is the way to overcome these problem-centered thoughts. And it's just simply thought replacement. Instead of thinking about an issue, deliberately think about a solution. Now, you may say, well, that's easy, Chris, but how do you actually do it? And it's firstly recognizing when you've got a problem-centered thought. And then within 60 seconds, and that's the key bit, deliberately change your focus to a solution-orientated approach. And RSF, this relentless solution focus, does correlate with optimism. Because if you think you can do something to improve a situation, it'll make you feel a bit more positive. Now you'll say, lots of solutions aren't obvious and problems are too big. That's fine. In that case, just change your thought process to chunk down the problem. Breaking the problem down so that there's just little tasks to tackle. And you then think of this +1 solution. What's the one step that I can do now that will lead to some improvement? Even just a little bit. And that is then the focus of your thoughts. And you're not wanting to just be aiming for perfectionism. If you want to know more about my thoughts on perfectionism, please check out this video I made earlier. But one step at a time leads to lasting great change in how you think. Now there's a concept called learned helplessness, and you'll often see this in various animal experiments. But humans can often fall for this as well, because what you're doing is thinking the problem's too big, nothing can be done. So just remember, chunk that problem down. And it's only you that can take yourself out the fight. And what that means is, do not give up. If you can be relentless in your efforts and do what you set out to do, then good change will occur in your life. But remember, knowledge is just simply knowledge until it's put into action. So I'd urge you to try and put these thoughts processes into action, and feel free to comment below and tell me how you're getting on. So you need to know what you focus on. And one of the ways about this is to take a step back in your life and think, where do I want to be in 3 to 10 years? That duration's good because it's in the future enough to think it's close enough and there's time that you can spend to work on it, but it's also not so far away you think, well, it's unrealistic. But think what 3 top priorities you'd like to focus on and then put a plan to work on them. Perfectionism is one of these things that can undermine us because what we're doing is focusing on the negative things. Oh, I got 5% wrong there, I did that wrong, instead of looking at what you actually did. So what we need to think of is focusing on what we did well and what we also want to achieve in our life. Your product goal is your target. Break your product goal down into a process goal. And these are the actual steps that you would need to take to achieve your product goal. So we plan action steps as part of our process goal. And remember, every small improvement can lead to great lasting change. And it's important, obviously, to both have professional goals and personal goals. So professional goals may well be a job you're going for. Personal goals may be to learn, say, salsa dancing or a second language. Practicing visualization can be very important to help you. And it's simple. What we would want to do is just spend 90 seconds, ideally twice a day, but it could be once a day. And for the first 30 seconds, focus on your vision. And that's the you in 3 to 10 years. Then, the next 30 seconds, focus on achieving your high priority process goals for that particular day. And after that, you want to have an identity statement. You'll say, what is an identity statement, Chris? Well, it's something that's unique to you, that you believe about yourself. And we want to frame that in the language of actually, I am strong, as opposed to I want to be strong. Because if we speak to ourselves in that positive way, it will show the effects that you're after. And also, when you're doing this 90 seconds of visualization, you can practice controlling your breathing, and that'll help you feel grounded and centered in that moment. You also may want to keep a success log, and that would be writing down the things you've done well. Not only does this help you focus on what you've actually done well, by writing it down, it reinforces it. And you'd say, well, what do I focus on? The key is not to have too many goals. If you have too many goals, it'll be hard to focus on them. But with your visualization, your top process goals, it will help you. I'll leave you with a nice equation that vision and integrity is what will give you happiness. Hope you've enjoyed that. I'll see you next time.